All right, welcome to the All Things BMX Show live from the RITM studios in the busy metropolis of Hartland, Michigan. This is episode 22. I cannot believe we are already there.
No
this
kidding.
is
22.
22, my man. This is the real Iron Man with our special guest, Howard Cato from the 510 Bay Area BMXers. I am your host, Justin Tompkins, longtime BMXer and lover of all things BMX, along with our other hosts, one of the baddest mofos, Chris Beer. Chris, I appreciate you taking time away.
Here we go.
From waxing that fleet of helicopters and airplanes and grooming your alpacas, along with your goats and your many, many other exotic animals that you have.
What?
Thank you for joining us in the studio for the second week in a row. Chris, how are you this evening, sir?
I'm doing great, Justin. Thanks for asking.
I heard he added some peacocks.
That does not surprise. He probably had them flown in
Not
on his
helping
private
me,
jet.
Melissa.
Or was that a giraffe? I can't remember.
It
What
was probably. It was probably a giraffe, for sure. Joining us this evening via RSVP Wedding and Event Designs, we have none other than our sound man himself, Mr. Paul Remington. Paul, how are you doing this evening? I'm good. You are good as always. Thank you so much. Calling in sick this evening from Heavy Pedals, Mr. Jay Juarez. Actually, he is stuck at work this evening fighting with a hard drive. Jay, I know you're going to get in the chat here shortly, and we really hope you do. And hanging out on the west side of the Michigan State, over there at the West Michigan BMX Headquarters, none other than our IT guru, Charlie Salisbury. Setting behind all of us, we have the exquisite and one smoking hot BMX mama back there, Melissa, a.k.a. the producer, a.k.a. handling all things social media. How are you this evening, Melissa?
So far, so good.
Fantastic.
What up?
We have an action-packed show for you this evening, and we are going to be talking all things BMX. Joining us is none other than the legend Howard Cato. Howard, we are very happy to have you on this evening. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing great, Justin. Thank you guys for having me, man. I'm enjoying myself here in the Bay Area right now, man. You know, not too hot, not too cold, in between, you know, just...
Great.
I'm jealous.
Enjoying myself, you know, happy to be on the show.
Well, we really appreciate you taking time away from that wonderful weather and the scenery out there in the Bay Area to join us here. It's extremely early for you there. We're looking at, what, about 5 o'clock for you?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'd still be out on the track if I had the time.
Well, you pulled him off the track to come onto your wonderful show.
I probably pulled him away from training and riding like 100 miles on his bike as Howard does. Howard's going to be joining us this evening on the Holly Powersports video line, and we appreciate them for taking care of our video line. We also have another Jeremy Ames voicemail segment.
Oh, man.
It's a good one. So, Howard, new to the show, and we appreciate you. So, Jeremy Ames, he's kind of a little local around, and he always sends in a voicemail. If he ever gets a hold of your phone number, you can expect some very strange voicemails from this guy. Don't worry, I'm not going to give him your phone number.
No, don't do that.
Also, following our Jeremy Ames voicemail segment, we will have our latest news, rumors, and gossip that, Howard, we'd like you to hang out and join us in there and add your insight. Also, all things made up with our All Things BMX. It's all brought to you by Nate's Painting. The show opening tonight is brought to you by our friends over at Truth BMX. Hey guys, it is Wednesday night, and we're glad you could join us. Grab a Faygo, it's kind of a Michigan brand, and some Uncle Ray's chips. It's time to watch the lights. Chris, why don't you let them know where they can watch the show this evening and listen.
All right. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. Make sure you are following us on Facebook. Our Facebook Live is how you see the show video-wise. You can get us on Facebook, which is brought to you by Heavy Pedals. You can also catch us on YouTube, sponsored by T-Bone BMX. We have Twitch, which is sponsored by RSVP Wedding and Events. And Twitter, sponsored by Holly Powersports. Those are the video versions of the show. If you want to get the audio-only podcast version of the show, you can head over to Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and all of our podcast versions are brought to you by Gatenine custom number plates. So if you're looking for a custom plate for yourself, your team, head on over to Gatenine, check those folks out. They'll be glad to hook you up with a custom number plate.
Mr. Billy's already in the chat room.
All right.
What's up, Billy?
Also, as always, we want to hear from you. So if you have any suggestions for the show, guests, ideas, things you want to share with the show, any news you have going on at your BMX track, anywhere in the country, email us at our brand new email address, which we debuted last week, I guess. All Things BMX Show at gmail.com. That's where you want to send all your emails now, not to the other one we had before.
They can. I'll still get them.
Okay. Well, that's the one we're pushing now. All Things BMX Show.
Yeah, please send it there. It just makes life easier.
So, again, make sure you're sharing the show with all your friends. Head over to our YouTube channel. Subscribe there. That's the best place to go find. If you want to go back and watch some of our past shows, YouTube is the place to go. Find those really quick and easy. That's where to go. So we're looking for more subscribers on YouTube. If you can help us out with that, we would appreciate it. And we're going to head over and hear from our friends at Mighty Mo's BMX Cruise.
Now, Howard, you know a little bit about this, right?
Yes, I do.
We got a pretty big announcement when we come back, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It might be leaked out in the commercial that we cut here right before the show. All right, we're gonna go listen.
Oh no, we did that so long ago. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Yeah. All right. Here we're gonna go listen to hear a word from our friend Mo.
Be part of the ultimate BMX pit party away from the track. All the fun of hanging with your friends, just like at the races, but without all the stress of competition. Nothing like this has ever been done anywhere in the world for BMXers until now. Enjoy the beautiful Royal Caribbean Navigator of the Seas cruise ship. Then join us as we celebrate and honor BMX humanitarian and rider Howard Cato. Hit up the T-Bone sponsored dodgeball tournament and so much more. Take in the sights while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Make this Labor Day weekend memorable as we kick off the inaugural sailing of the Mighty Mo's BMX cruise. The Caribbean better be ready. Riders ready? Watch the waves. Mo caught that because he just joined the chat room.
Well, you know what? If Mo just got in, we'll play his commercial again later. Because, again, Melissa comes in, one cut, nails it right from the beginning. On
One
the
and done.
Well, I even had an audience.
Yeah.
Did.
That was right when I walked in the door.
Yes. Yeah. All right. We'd now like to welcome tonight's special guest, and you're a very big guest now on the Mighty Mo's cruise, as we heard in the commercial. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Man, it was an honor, man. Mo had hit me up and asked me to be a part of this, earlier in the year about coming on to the cruise and stuff, man. And, it was something that I wanted to do. I knew that, racing this, before the pandemic happened, I knew we were going to be doing a lot of racing and stuff. And I'd be like, I was like, well, September, it kind of eases down. So it would be nice for me to take a cruise and kind of relax before we get to the rest of the race season. So, I was looking forward to it. And I'm even looking more forward to it, being honored, as the guest speaker on the ship and everything. So it's going to be fun. A little nervous, but fun.
So can we get the dish here? Did you take Craig Reynolds' hamstring out? So,
well, man,
Dr. Smooth, I'll show him.
It's one of those things, man. I hate that happened, but sure. Sometimes you fall in place, man, and you're right there, and you just kind of like up next. I hate that happened to Craig. He's a good guy, man. I would have loved to see him on the ship. Haven't saw him in a long time, and it would have been great to see him there. But he'll be there in spirit still. And I get up there and I'll try to represent as much as I can,
Nice.
Sounds good.
Absolutely. So, as always, we highly encourage listener participation. So, for these of you guys listening, watching, make sure you guys get your questions in the chat. If you got something you want us to pass along to Howard, make sure you're in there, and we'll get that on there. Melissa handles all things social media for us. So, if you got a question, a shout out, anything you want. For those joining us from the Bay Area and abroad that are friends with Howard, thank you for coming in and joining our show, All Things BMX. Chris, why don't you take it away and take your...
I got it. All right. Yeah, make sure you guys like us, Facebook, YouTube, make sure you're liking the show, liking today's show, share it with all your friends, especially all the new people that are just finding the show because Howard's on. Please like our page. One of the things we do, again, let us know in the chat where you're watching from. If you have any questions, get them in there. So we start out All Things, Howard, with what is your BMX story? How did you find BMX? How did you get started?
I found BMX back in '83 as far as racing. I've been riding for 2 years prior to that, just riding in the neighborhood and stuff.
Okay.
But never, knew anything about the BMX scene. I got me a BMX bike and, I found out going through the 7-Eleven and I picked up a BMX magazine back then and I was watching some of the people racing up in there, but everything that's always seemed so far from us, living in Oakland and stuff.
Okay.
And just one day, a friend of mine, man, he ended up going to a BMX track and he came back and told us about it. And, I kind of talked to my parents and asked them, could I go? And I ended up going out there that night to a track out toward Fremont. And I was hooked ever since then,
Okay. About how old were you when you started?
I was 13.
13. Okay. Great. So that's when you started racing.
Yes, that's when I started racing.
Okay.
Funny story, man. I'm going to tell you, be honest with you, I didn't learn to ride a bike, man, until I was 11 years old. Man,
Really?
Kids used to laugh at me, man. I came out, man. It was, I had training wheels still, man. It's crazy, because kids at the school, they were saying that they were going to go out, they were going riding after school. So I'm like, man, I want to go. But, man, I came around that corner, man, with them training wheels on. Man, them guys laughed at me, man.
Oh,
real.
I bet they give you a real hard time, didn't they?
Gave me a hard time, man. And, one of my friends, he kind of stayed back, and after school, he started trying to show me how to ride and stuff. And, about a week later, man, I ended up learning to ride. He was learning to push me down the hill in my mom's parents' driveway. And that's how I learned. And ever since then, it just kind of came on. So at that point, I had a mission because I wanted to, it was almost like I had a lot to catch up to, people were bunny hopping, so I had to learn that, people were just riding wheelies. I had to learn that, so I was late with it, but I got better to it, as I got older. Started hanging around people that really knew how to ride, man, and they were showing me stuff. And, we started building ramps in our neighborhood, jumping over baskets, jumping over boxes. So before I went to a track, I already knew how to jump and everything. We already knew. We didn't have no fear. We just didn't know how to, we never been there, So once I got there, man, it was almost like this is the place I should have been all the time.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That is great.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta tell you, his chat room already blowing up with questions already, and we're only a few minutes in. That's awesome.
Great.
So
Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming.
Exactly. So another question for you. Your philanthropic efforts that you've done with the kids in the community, how did that come about? And where did that start? And where are you at now?
Well, Flood the Streets with Bikes started, man, back in 2018. You ever just be riding, man, and you just had this moment of thinking, something just click in your head that you just feel that you're not doing enough, man, for your community, or your neighborhood, or anything, and something just clicked in, and, I just decided, I'm like, man, when I started Bay Area BMXers, I was working with kids, but I wasn't working as much because we had the race team. So it was like you'd grab a few kids and that was it. You'd have them for an amount of time and then they would move on. But when I decided that I wanted to bring something back, I thought about my son's school, Brandon, when he was younger. And I was like, man, the teachers always knew that he was leaving out of town and what was he going? But they really never knew what he was doing. They just kind of knew that his dad was taking him out of school, and we were going to a bike race in another state or something, or maybe out the country. So I wanted to kind of get that message out to the kids and to the parents. So I reached out to my son and daughter's teacher that still worked at the elementary school that they went to, and she was with it. She was like, "Yeah, man, what do you want to do?" I says, "Well, I want to try to bring a BMX program to the school." So, but I just didn't have bikes. I had a few bikes, but I didn't have enough bikes. I had some used bikes, and I was trying to get this together. So then the plan came to, how are you going to get these bikes? What are you going to call it? And I decided, I came to a conclusion that it was going to be called Flood the Streets with Bikes. I needed to get the streets full of bikes. I needed to get the kids riding and everything on bikes, because that's something that you're not seeing no more. It's a trip when I was coming to these schools, man, and the bike locks, where kids would normally have bikes at, it was empty and there's no bikes up in there. I'm like, man, this is odd,
Right, because
when I was in school, I always rode my bike to school,
Exactly.
And everything. So I started a GoFundMe to help me raise some money to get bikes and stuff. Ended up the first thing I ended up getting like 15 bikes, and that was a start. But I know in these schools, it's over 36 kids in these schools, in the classroom, in one classroom, 26, 30 kids. So I'm still short. So a few friends got together, man. A friend of mine, Marty Went, he's a videographer, and he put some stuff together for me. And he put out a video, man, asking for some help. And, man, it kind of blew up, Facebook, not Facebook, but GoFundMe, they got a hold to my story, and they were liking what I was doing here in the Bay Area, and enlightening kids on BMX bikes. They were just like, wow, this is crazy. I was at work one day, and I get this message, and it was from GoFundMe, and they had donated $1,500. I'm like, is this a joke or something? Wait a minute. Why would GoFundMe donate money for me?
Yeah, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, so that's how big it was. So the story jumped off. So the lady ended up reaching out to me, and we were talking. She was like, well, Mr. Cato, we like what you're doing over here, and we really want to help you. So we're gonna help you push your message out. And they made me I was made the hero, GoFundMe Hero of the Month in July.
And,
wow. Man,
I didn't know that was a thing either.
Yeah, so
congratulations.
She was like, I didn't expect nothing, and she was like, tomorrow morning the podcast is gonna go out, and we're gonna push your message out. And I tell you, I was at work, and all of a sudden my phone started blowing up, man. Within 7 days, I'd raised over $40,000.
Oh my gosh!
Good for you.
Did you say 7 days?
People that I didn't even know.
Wow!
$40,000 in 7 days.
The kids I was able to do what I needed to do.
That gives
I went
me
out
chills.
and got over 97 bikes, as many bikes as I could fill up in my storage, and helmets and stuff. And I started flooding the streets with bikes, flooding the schools, and doing the community rides and stuff. So, it's like, I always tell people, man, I'm here for a reason. Sometimes God puts you here for a reason, and it's to help your community, help people out and stuff, and that's what I'm about. It's not about me, because I've had my days, it's about the kids, it's about the youth that's coming up now, man, and we gotta teach them, it don't matter whether they're football, basketball, bikes, BMX, it don't matter, but as long as we're teaching them something. And, the smiles that I get, man, when I come through that school, come through the classroom, man, and the kids are waiting on me, and they're happy to see me. And I'm like, man, this is what I need to do. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I've been doing it ever since.
Well, I would also, Justin had shared with all of us here at the All Things BMX Show the YouTube video that kind of tells a little bit about your history and your story. And I would definitely direct anybody who wants to learn more about kind of what you've been through to go watch that, because it was engaging and it was very uplifting to see where you've come from and what you continue to put out in your community. It's just amazing.
Right. Well, you know, that story, you know, that happened, you know, like I said, I like to tell people, man, that, you know, just because you start off bad sometimes in life, man, don't mean that you can't change your life, you know. And
For
I'm a
sure.
perfect example, you know. I'm 52 years old now. I'm blessed to still be here, you know. I was a victim of the streets, man, back in the early 90s, you know. Shot several times and, you know, was paralyzed for a couple months, man, sitting up in the hospital. And, you know,
Wow.
the thing that just always came to me, man, while I was in there, it was just like, man, I need to get back on a bike or something, you know? So, you know, when I was able to get back out, man, and get back into it, that's what I ended up doing. So, you know, as I got myself back into it and found BMX, man, I knew I was back home again, you know? But the streets will take you out. And one thing about the whole difference is, back when I was growing up, we didn't have mentors like myself back then. So if we would have had that, I probably wouldn't have ended up, maybe I wouldn't have ended up the way I did, you know, hanging out and doing what I did, you know? I don't know. All I know is I can't bring back what happened in the past. Only thing I can do is look at the future and move forward on that, and look at it in a way of changing, trying to help change people's lives and stuff, you know. Friends
forward.
that, you know, that I'm around, you know, that's all we can do is move forward and just enjoy it, you know, and let them know that, hey, there's different things out there.
That's a great message. Okay. So, when did you start the race team? Was that part of the Flood the Bikes, or was that before that? Or
no, I started Bay Area BMXers back in 2012. You know, I always tell people, you know, my son, he had been on a lot of bike shop teams, BMX factory teams and stuff, and he was getting ready to go off to college. And, you know, even though it was still kind of close in the area, you know, we wanted to try something different. You know, we wanted to try to do our own team and just, you know, take from what we've learned over the years. And, you know, a few of my friends, we all got together and got some ideas, put them together, and, you know, and formed Bay Area BMXers. You know, it started out being something like a small local team where we all were just going to hang out when we go to the races and, you know, have a little pit. I didn't know we were going to go to our first national and win a race, you know.
That's amazing.
And bring such positive toward it. And after that, man, it just kind of kept going. You know, each year it kind of escalated up higher and higher, you know. And I just said, you know, I'm like, man, I'm happy. I'm happy that Bay Area BMXers have grown to where it was, you know. I mean, from where we started at, you know, it's all over the world, you know. It's a brand. A lot of people support me. I have riders all over, you know. I have riders in Colombia. I have riders in Southern California, riders in Vegas, all over, you know. So Bay Area, even though it's a Bay Area BMXers, I mean, it's just, it don't mean that you have to live in the Bay Area, you know.
That's cool.
You know, people want to be a part, you know, when something is going well, you know, great. So, you know, I'm just happy to have it and happy to be able to bring a lot of people along with me on the way up.
That's wonderful. How many riders do you have now?
Oh,
roughly.
Too many to count. Too many to count.
Oh man. Well, I'm assuming I have over 27 riders.
Okay, that's
yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I've been part of a team where it's like, how many kids is it?
Yeah. Well, one thing is, I know every last one of them name. I just know it's over 20 something.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So it gets difficult when you get that many kids going.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you got lots of love in the chat room right now. A couple people want to say hi. Rick Carter
says, tell Rick hello.
What's up?
You're telling him.
Good.
Let's see. Kevin Bolden
Yeah,
says
my buddy
hi.
Kevin. Hey, Kev.
Mo said that he wanted to know if you were going to have your gold grill in when you're on the ship. I'm just reading it. I didn't. I'm just the messenger.
Tell Mo that thing's been gone.
Let's see. Agent 09, a.k.a. Skyway Nick, says, what's up?
Oh, tell Nick, hey, Arizona Nick. Yeah.
Yes.
A couple more questions we'll get to in a minute. I'm trying to see who else is in here.
We just posted in there the link for your the YouTube video that Melissa was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
We got that posted in the chat, so somebody had asked for that link, so we have it there. And also, we edited it, and it's right above you now on the show, so anyone can go there. It's kind of a crazy link, but it's there. So feel free. Make sure you watch it, as Melissa said.
Yeah, it was crazy. Go ahead, guys.
I thought it was very well done video, so yeah, go check that out for sure.
Please do. You got a ton of questions about the Jeff Goldblum and Disney Plus episode you did. And
man.
We've got the pictures loaded up in the slideshow. So were there any other questions, Melissa?
Well, that was my next question, but
My
there are. But
bad.
you might as well have him talk about, and then because otherwise I'm changing the subject. So why don't you have him talk about that?
So, how did that come about, and what has that done for the program there for you?
Man, the producers out in London, they had reached out to me about doing a BMX promo with Specialized. And they were telling me about, they had found my website, and they like what I do, and they were interested in getting some of my kids because, since it was with Disney, having some of the little kids on the show with them. And I was like, wow, for real? Sometimes you see stuff like this, man. I thought it was a joke for a minute. I'm like, hold on, man, I got to really look through this stuff here. Yep. And they were sending me paperwork and stuff, and over, and all of a sudden it happened. So as we came up, as time came on with it, we were back and forth with the producers and stuff, and they were telling me what they wanted to see from me, and about the riders, and they wanted my son, since he was a pro, they wanted him to kind of be able to show Jeff how to ride the bike and get around the track and everything. And then one of my riders, little Kevin, he was the little one, so he was one of the little kids that was really mainly speaking out. So he really took the Kevin on here, little Kevin, and they just kind of, we went out to one of our bike parks at San Jose, Lake Cunningham, and we met up, and we're sitting around, and all of a sudden this limousine comes pulling up, man, and here's Jeff coming out.
Oh my goodness.
So I mean, he's a hilarious guy, man. I mean, he keep you laughing all day long. I mean, full of jokes and stuff. It was good, It was crazy because we were doing that episode, and we had a lot to do because that next day I was leaving out for the Worlds. We were on our way to Belgium. So we were trying to cover all this stuff, and then I'm getting ready to fly out that next morning to Belgium. So, man, it was a lot of take ones. We had to reset. So now I really see how they do it in show
TV
business,
land
man.
works.
Yeah, so we had to keep going over and over again. It was hot out there and stuff, but it was fun. A lot of my team riders, they enjoyed themselves. They had fun. The little kids enjoyed it. It was just something that the kids came out, and they already know how to jump. They already know how to do what they supposed to do out there anyway. So it wasn't really like a strip that they had to memorize or anything. He just told them to go out there and jump and be yourself. And that's what we did.
Well, it had to be exciting for the littler kids, too, to know that they might be on television. So that's pretty exciting for them.
Yes, it was. And when they saw it, they were amazed to be able to see it. And I found out that, it was all about them, So when he came to me, he was like, Howard, we just want to have your team in there. I said, well, man, you know what? That's all we need. I said, I don't need to be up in there. I said, I'm just happy to watch my team in there, watch my son and everybody else do their thing. It's fun sometimes watching on the side and being able to see how what a lot of them have learned from me, and they're putting it out there. So either way, I was still out there,
For sure.
Absolutely.
We had Jason on. He is here in
Jason Hall.
Jason Hall. He here outside of Detroit. He actually in Detroit set up the slow roll. So just a big fun get together and take a pedal bike ride around Detroit. And they had Jeff there also.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yes, they did.
Detroit, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so he was there for that slow roll also, and it's just it's about
Oh, I saw that episode.
Yeah, it's about an 8-mile ride.
They're on they're on the thing there with it.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Right. That was the whole bike when they was riding all the way around.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, it was all bikes.
Yes.
All the
any bikes. And it's
lots.
crazy bikes.
Yeah, and we had Jason on about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, about a month.
And a half ago. It was really nice to he explained like how big Disney, Apple, all of them that were involved. Probably just like you experiencing some of the pictures that are in the slideshow. There's some of your hero your hero conference. With all the photographers and the lights and cameras, all that stuff. There's one right here coming up with Jeff in there. It was really interesting to hear his take on having Mr. Goldblum there. So what's your favorite Jeff Goldblum movie? We asked that to Jason.
We did. That's right. I forgot about that.
He said Jason's was
Deep Cover. I ain't gonna lie. I like Deep Cover, man.
Ooh, that.
Him and Larry Fishburne. He was cold.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a cold. Jason took The Fly, the original Fly.
Yeah, The Fly. Well, a friend of mine, he wanted me to have his bike signed for him. So at the end, Brandon had Jeff to sign the bike and put The Fly on it.
Oh no, that's awesome.
Yeah, so he was able to. We had the marker, and he was like, after we get finished, I said, make sure you get the bike signed, because a friend of mine, he really wanted it. He was like, man, look, my favorite movie was The Fly. He was like, just having to sign it for me. So he actually used his bike. Jeff was able to use his bike on it because it was a bigger bike. He couldn't use mine. Mine was too small for him. Jeff is tall, man. So. I got that taken care of, put The Fly on there and everything. Because I had to go back. I had forgot about The Fly, man. Because when he told me like The Fly, he was like, man, that was one of the first movies. I'm like, The Fly. And then I remembered it. So, I had to go watch it, then I kind of remembered it.
Sure.
But yeah. Jeff's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, I think I know him.
Yep.
Yeah, Jurassic Park. Yeah.
For sure.
What's your favorite, Justin?
I'm gonna go with. I got to go with The Fly, and it was the first.
He's in Independence Day too, isn't he?
Yeah, but it was one of the. I don't know if that was R-rated or PG-13, and I remember I had my choice. I could go see Mighty Ducks, or I could go see The Fly. And at the time, my family had me really heavy in the hockey, so it was just we're gonna go. I was supposed to go see that, but I'm like, man, I want to go see The Fly. Man, they got to have been like 13, 12, 14, somewhere in there. And I was like, I want to see The Fly. And my dad's like, what? And I was like, no, I want to go see that movie. And I ended up going in there as a young kid, and I watched that movie. And man, I couldn't. Fly'd come around me, I'd freak out after that, man.
It was in Death Wish, too.
Yeah.
It's like,
no. It was great. Hey, we got to take a quick commercial break. We got to listen to our friends from RSVP, and I'll tell you what, we'll double down. We're gonna see. We're gonna listen to our friends from Truth also. We'll be right back. We got some questions stacking up in the chat room. We appreciate you guys jumping in, getting those questions in there. Chris Allen just joined us. Thanks for jumping in. Yeah,
hey, under the big top.
There he is. So when we come back, we're going to hit these questions. Melissa will relay those to you, and we'll get back in here. So we're going to be right back. We're going to listen to our friends from RSVP and our friends over there in Maryland at Truth BMX. RSVP Wedding and Event Designs. Anything you can imagine under the sun for your wedding, corporate event, parties, or even private events. Winner of the prestigious Best of Weddings by the Knot. Family owned and operated by some really cool BMXers. Call them now, 248-301-5522, and tell them that the Michigan BMX Podcast Show sent you.
I want the truth! tell the truth.
All right, we are back. We want to say thank you to our friends at RSVP Wedding and Event Design. Hey, if you guys are up here in the Mitten State, Northern Ohio, Indiana, even Illinois, and you got a corporate event, you got a wedding, you got something, some karaoke you want to have done, those are the guys to reach out to. I promise I'm not going to be the one running your karaoke. I love karaoke as long as I'm not the one there. But look, they're great people, great sponsors of the show. They pretty much keep the audio in tip-top shape for us, and we appreciate them. And our friends over at Truth BMX. And hey, Chris, as you know, they're in this month's prize package for our contest that we've got. We're going to be announcing the winner here in a little while.
Yeah, so thank you, Truth, for helping out with our prize package. We really appreciate that. Eric and all the folks over there at Truth, thank you very much.
Absolutely, and we're going to send it over to Melissa.
All right, my turn, huh?
Howard, and she has some more questions from our friends in our chat room right now.
All right, Howard, our friend Tino Martinez wants to know what kind of bike you're riding these days.
Supercross BMX. Supercross. I'm riding on with Bill Ryan right now.
Oh.
All right.
Is he one of your sponsors on your team?
Yes, he is.
Okay, that's what I thought.
If not, he's going to be.
He's a good guy. I like Bill. He's a really nice person.
Awesome. And our other friend, Ron Walker, would like to know who your favorite pro might be, or what your influences. Who's your influences?
Man, there's a lot of pros out there, man. It's hard to call it, Man,
that is a tough question.
I watched Connor grow up, man. Connor's, watching him, man, and when I watched him excel and win the Olympics, I was happy because it's like I watched this kid grow up, man, doing the chicken dance and everything and stuff. We talk when we see each other a lot, man. He's a good guy. He's a good pro, man. There's so many of them. It's hard to just pinpoint one pro out there when you just, there because you don't know. Any of them can win at any time. I applaud all of them coming down that big hill and everything,
For
and
sure.
stuff.
For sure. Okay. Do you have a pro that you looked up to back in the day when you were a kid? Somebody you looked up to?
Yeah, man. Growing up, man, like I said, before I got into BMX, I used to open up the magazines, man, and shoot, I kept seeing Tommy Brackens, Tommy Brackens was the man.
So, for those of you who don't know, what was his nickname, Chris?
The Human Dragster, man.
Yeah.
That's it right
The
there.
what?
The Human Dragster.
He was fast.
Man.
he was one of them, and
a nice dude too.
Yes. And the thing is, I finally got a chance to meet Tommy, man, last year in Vegas, and we sat down and talked, and we had a good conversation, man. And I told him how, he inspired me to be a better person and try to get out there and race BMX, because seeing them in the magazine, me, man, like I said, being in Oakland, man, African American, man, I didn't know nothing about BMX. We didn't know it existed. When you open up a magazine back then and you see someone that looks like you, man, that's huge.
Sure, for sure.
And it kind of like, man, hey, I can do this, too,
Yes.
So I was inspired by that, and then when I got into the scene, man, I just started seeing a lot of good riders, man, the Pattersons, Brent and Bryant, them back then.
Them.
I got a chance to see them before they shut it down,
His favorites.
That's
His
interesting.
Which one, the Pattersons?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Hey, man, Triple A, man. Those are my guys right there. Vance there, man. Vance, Brian, Brent, man. So they stand behind me, man. They're some great sponsors, man, for me. And it's like, man, I just...
So for folks that don't know, the Patterson family owns the AAA fire prevention.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And you had a comment, right, Melissa, or a shout out?
I was just gonna say Matt Cooper was asking. I wanted to ask Howard what it was like to work with the Patterson family. If that's the same group of people.
Oh, what's it like, man? I'm always on cloud nine. As close as we are, man. Me and Vance and everybody. Even when I come in there, man, I have so much respect for them. And the thing is, man, they have a lot of respect for me, man. And it goes both ways, And,
Yeah,
you know, when we come and we sit down and we talk, you know, they're always there to listen to my ideas and everything and stuff, man. And that's what I appreciate about them so much, man.
Are we gonna get?
It's great working with them.
Are we ever gonna get your bike here?
Oh yeah, I can bring it. over.
What is it you got?
I have a Patterson bike from back in the day. I used to ride Patterson bikes back in the 80s, so I still have mine.
Oh, you still have it?
Oh yeah.
You got to send me a picture of it.
Sure.
It's I'm gonna bet I have not saw this goat of a bike, but I'm guaranteeing this thing is mint.
Well, it's original from back then.
Huh?
It hasn't been, you know, cleaned
Modified.
up. What do they call it? They call it a survivor, I think, in the you know, BMX collecting world. Because
what would it cost to get us to have you race that at Waterford this summer?
Well, I probably wouldn't do well on it because
Oh,
I've ridden it a little bit, and it's nothing like today's bike.
Totally
it's
different.
Totally
Setup
different.
and everything.
Yeah.
It's totally different. I don't know how I fitted on those bikes back then, and I haven't really grew that much since I was a teenager, you know. But looking at the bikes that we were on back then, it seems like they were so small now. We got more room to with bikes now, you know.
Yeah, and it sits up so much, you know, like back in the day, you know, your seat post was as high as it could be. Now everything's low. It's just like complete opposite. It's totally different. You know, the tires, we got the knobby tires versus more like the slick tire now.
Slick tires.
And the whole thing. But yeah, no, because they, you know, the Patterson brothers were my hero growing up when I was a kid. They're the ones I looked up to.
So maybe Howard could get him on the show.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not going to freeze up like Paul did when Harry got on here, are you?
No.
Hey, if I know Vance, I'm sure Vance is listening right now. So, Vance, if you hear him, you hear what they said, man. They want you on the show.
You got an invite, our friend.
Yeah,
man.
We'd love to have Vance on. Shoot, we could probably do a show just with Vance and then have the brothers on later.
Yeah. Oh man, Vance has stories to tell. I tell you, man. He done told me so many stories about BMX. It's crazy. I should be writing this stuff down, you know.
Right.
Sounds like a book.
You got a book. You got a book.
Yeah, I should be writing it down.
Yeah. Speaking of stories, we gotta know how is it that you have one lung?
Yes, I have one lung, man. You know, that came with the story of, like I told you, when I was shot. You know, I lost one of my lungs and stuff. You know, but you know, if you didn't know it, I mean, people that don't know, you couldn't tell it. You know, as motivated as I do, as moving around and stuff. You know, that was one of the reasons, man, why I did this 300+ mile ride. You know, it was to prove to my one reason is I always wanted to do it. I just didn't have the time to do it because I was always so busy. But now with everything so slowed down, you have a lot of time on your hands. So
now explain to everybody, you did 300 miles
on a BMX bike.
That's all that needs to be said.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Now, where'd you start? Where'd you end?
I can't even go
like
in
25
Castro
feet. Valley, California, and we ended up 40 miles out from Ventura. We had to stop because when we got to the top, the drop was 40 miles, and it was a safety hazard. And a BMX bike, I didn't see myself going down there and getting hurt. Or
it was all downhill.
Mark. Yeah, it was all downhill.
Oh gosh,
and it was swervy, and you know, even with disc brakes, I don't think I could have did it. You know, and I wanted to be able to come back and tell a story that
right.
I didn't want to be able to end up in the hospital and saying, "Oh man," or you know, something real crucial. So sometimes you have to step back and say, "Hey, I got this far. It's a blessing." You know, I was more worried about, man, with the slick tires. You know, it was very hot. You know, we were riding out in that hot heat, man. Most of the time we were riding, it was like maybe 105 degrees out there, and I was worried about the tires, you know, messing up. But man, thank God we didn't have no bike malfunction.
No, no mechanical problems at all.
None at all. And you know what we did was my brother he trailed us, so we had to get to him every 27 miles. So we were doing like 27 miles every hour and a half or so, you know. and we would get to him, and then we'd go to the next one, and he'd go up every 27 miles. So he wouldn't be that far away, but he would be enough far where we knew we had to get to him, and everything and stuff. The app, when we first started out, we had a few problems because the app started acting up. It was taking us in a direction, had us going in circles, man. And that Google Map app, it was just so we wasted some time, man. And it was like we ran out of water.
Oh no.
Yeah, we ran out of water for a minute, man. So it was hurting, but it was the first people we caught up to. They were cutting down trees. So I asked the guy. I says, "Hey, man, we traveling, man. I was out of breath, man. I told him, I says, we traveling from California, from the Bay Area to Ventura. I said, man, we ran out of water. I said, can you give us some water? So he was like, yeah, man, sure. So they had water on their work truck. So they filled our bottles up. We got a little bit of water.
Oh, nice.
Shoot, man, that stuff went so quick, So then,
I bet.
100-degree weather. Yeah, I can't imagine.
Hey, that thing went quick. So just so happened we got into Morgan Hill. We ran into a friend of ours. He happened to see us. He was working, a fireman, Gerald Depew. And he just happened to see us riding by, man. And he came out screaming for me and Mark. And he pulled us over, and then we loaded up. He gave us some more water, man. And so we were rejuvenated. So we were good to get to the next step. But man, I tell you, when I got to the back to the vehicle, I had to sit down for a while because I was really dehydrated. That it took a lot out of me because I wasn't able to drink the water the way we were supposed to, and that was the plan. So when the GPS messed us up, it took about 25 minutes out of us, and we riding around in circles trying to find that path. And when finally found it, we were able to get back. But after that, that was the only thing that really was the bad point. It was one funny thing that happened. I wish I'd have had my had my camera on when it happened. So each city we would pull over. I'd drink water. We'd get some water, and I'd take pictures of the location. So we had pulled over. We were on the Highway 22, and I pulled over and I stopped, and I told Mark, I said, hold up, we're gonna take a break for a minute while I take a picture. And I hear these dogs barking. They were across the street. They were across on the other side of the freeway, and under some cars. So I hear them barking, but I'm thinking they were chained up or something. Man,
oh no!
Breaks over.
You know what I'm finna go. You know I'm finna go.
Yeah.
Man, I look up, man, these dogs are coming right at us. One of them almost got hit by a semi running across. The other two was on me. So Mark was gone already. And I'm jamming. I got this. I'm running big gears. I had a 47-16 on. So I had to get in that gear quick. So I'm looking out the side of my eyes, man. These dogs are on me, man. I'm pellet. It's hot. I'm trying to get. I'm gone. Man, I'm like, man, when is these dogs gonna stop? So finally they stopped and turned back around. But man, I was like, oh my gosh. That was the story right there. I mean, if the video camera would have been rolling on that, man, it would have been crazy. But thank God it didn't go bad. The dogs didn't bite us or nothing. But I don't know. Maybe they saw the pink bike, man, and they just it attracted them. You know what I'm saying?
Something
came over and they were barking, but they went back and we went on.
Just a reference, 300 miles would be from here in the studios to Rockford and then some.
Really?
So for those of our friends just hanging out here in the Midwest, we're right by Waterford, Waterford Oaks BMX. That is like pedaling from here to Rockford, Illinois. And then some, actually. It's going to be a little bit more. But probably taking the route around Chicago and stuff, it would equal out. That is a long bike ride, my friend.
Long. So would I do it again? No.
What was the drive behind?
I did that to motivate people. Like I said, one reason me for not having a lung, I did that for people that can't do it. I did it for people that's not here. I did it for people that might want to try to do maybe 5 or 6 miles or something, just to get out and go do something. So sometimes when you do that, I'm just doing it to help someone, but I needed to do it for myself because I wanted to know that that was something that I can check off in my list in life down the line there, that I was able to pedal across the, a few cities and stuff to get to another destination,
So
I don't know, just something I did, I'm 52 years old, man. I'm proud and I'm happy and I'm in shape to do it. So why not go for it?
Sure. So by you wanting to do that, I hope you've inspired quite a few people to do something on their side of it. Like you said, ride a couple of miles if that's all you can do, or whatever it be. You've inspired other folks to get out and do something.
Well, Brian Patterson, he was one of the riders that he pushed off. He rode with us, on the takeoff that morning, and me and him was talking, and he was talking about doing a ride in, close in the area here, maybe San Francisco to Santa Cruz in our area or something. So I told him, I think we're going to take on and do that. Give me a couple months though, but
A little recovery time.
Let me rejuvenate and everything. But
sure.
I think that'll be something that we can do as a community, and get people together, man, and ride and just go have some fun, Because
Sure.
When people are out riding their bikes, man, everyone is happy.
Facts.
Everyone is happy,
Totally.
and we need more happiness than anything right now.
For
How
sure.
long did it take you?
It took us. We started so I left at 6:30 Tuesday morning. We finished up that Thursday morning because once we got up there, there was nowhere else to go. So we were done. I was back at home Thursday evening.
Wow. So,
Yeah, we were pushing hard nonstop.
2.5 days roughly.
About, I wouldn't even say a half a day. I would say, because we were covering, we covered like 100. The first day we had to cover 136 miles to make sure, because that was the destination. We had to do that,
So in my
And we
car,
had to
that
ride
would
a little
take
bit
2
in the
hours.
night and stuff. So
Right.
Then we'd wake up in the morning before it gets, before that sun really come down, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and get on the road before it really gets really hot, But hey,
Good
it's
idea.
doable.
That's
Well, Lucas Mallory says you're a legit man who's an inspiration for the sport. All love for the 510.
Tell them thank you.
Ron Purnell says that's my guy right there.
Oh man, Ron, man, that's my teenage buddy, man. We used to race together. His grandmama used to take us to the BMX. After my friend, his grandmama used to take us, load us up in the vans. We were at the BMX races all the time, every weekend.
That's
Thanks
amazing.
to him.
And your
And his
buddy
grandma.
Chris Allen says what's up.
What's up, Chris?
So a good friend of the show, Mr. Craig Michael, had a couple of questions. He wanted to know what racers in your class do you race at a local track, and he mentioned the name Pee Wee Lee or is it Roy Ball?
Royable. Yes.
Okay.
Pee Wee's on my team.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, Brent Lee. Yeah, he's on my team. So he's out of Washington. Yes, and then Al Royable, he's from the Bay Area. He's from Gilroy. But Pee Wee, he don't race locally with us. But Al Royable, if we race, we'll race together at a certain point, because Al's a little younger than I am. I'm 51. I'm in that 51 and over expert class. Al's still in the 46, 50 class.
That
Okay.
youngin'.
So he's a little younger.
Yes.
Okay.
you race cruiser ever?
Yes, I do. I race cruise also. I haven't raced cruisers since the Grands. Actually, my bike's still in the bike bag from the Grands, man.
What cruiser class are you?
51, 55.
51, 55.
Okay.
So what's he in
Yes.
there with? Is
Uh-huh.
he with Chris
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey?
I think so.
No.
Yes, Chris Jeffries.
You know Chris?
Yes.
He is-
we haven't met, but he's in my class.
Yeah, he's our historian for the show.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
he does our history lessons. So
Oh, do it.
one of the things we here at the show we found very important was there's really like a lack of knowing the history of BMX. So we bring guests on and they'll talk about them, and then we have Chris come on and he invites some people on, and he breaks down. He's been doing it a long time, and he really breaks it down, and it's always it's a good time. God, who else would he race around that we would know? This would be probably Craig, but Craig, I don't know if Craig's in X yet or not. But
yeah, he doesn't race cruiser. He does. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, well, that's good times. So I know Harry had a question for you that Melissa was going to ask for Mr. Harry Larry.
Harry Larry, okay.
Yeah, he was one of our guests
What's up,
here a couple
Harry?
weeks ago. What did he have, Melissa?
I haven't read that far down yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped in front of you.
I don't know what to do, honey. If you want to do it, go ahead.
Okay, so 1 second, I'll
take it.
Well,
He's jumping way down to the bottom. He's excited.
Well, because we're gonna. It was always a good time. It was a great time when Harry was on here. And
See, I go through and try to ask in order so that I don't miss anybody.
That's my role. I got to train wreck it.
Yep.
Train wreck it.
Just bring. So
I love you.
Harry wanted to know. He wanted to know about Cecil Jones.
Cecil.
Yes.
Man, Cecil was a legend back then, man. I mean, when I came back into the right before I left the sport, I met Cecil. I met Cecil when we were teenagers, back at Moffett Field days and stuff.
Okay, so he's from
Fast
Oakland
and everything and stuff. Super fast. No, he wasn't from Oakland.
Oh, okay.
But Cecil was from. I know when he passed on, he was living up in Reading, but he was out in that area, San Jose area, out there.
Okay.
Stuff. But man, shoot, I don't know. Man, it's hard to talk about Cecil, man. He was the man. I mean, shoot.
We can
Guy
take
was
that.
fast. I mean, he was healthy. He was trending down. I mean, he was one of the guys to be, man. A lot of people, he left a lot of memories, man. And I remember when I came back to the sport because I got me a boss and stuff, so. Those are the people that I kind of remembered when I was younger, racing, seeing Cecil still doing the sport on top of it, out there winning races, doing good in the pro scene and stuff, along with. And the last time I had saw Cecil was up in Roseville, and it was a good thing because my son got a chance to meet him. And like a couple weeks later, that's when he had passed on, But man, he was the man. He was NorCal, man. He was NorCal.
He was a NorCal guy, huh?
Yeah.
Did you have any other questions, Melissa?
Yeah, and change the subject. Kevin wants to know about your summer camp and what day you're doing that, a little information on that, and are there any spots available still?
Yes, well, my summer camp starts the second week of June. My first week is already filled up. Second week is, I think I'm down to maybe 3 spots left on that.
Ooh,
It's really filling up, man, this year.
That's
actually,
great news, though.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
It is great news. I'm happy that it's filling up. Happy to have the kids out here riding out here at one of our tracks called Dirt World, where we all worked and put together and stuff with a few other board members that helped out. Big shout out to D2, big shout out to AC, shout out to to Janine, for us continuing to keep this track going well and everything, and for us, the support from the local people that comes out and help, the volunteers. Big shout out to them to keep this thing happening, because I don't know, if I didn't have this right now, I probably wouldn't have no summer camp. It's something good for kids to come, and it's open to the public. So, something that I wish I had when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
Is the camp geared towards non-BMXers, or is it for racers?
Yes, non-BMXers. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I do get BMX kids in there. This year, it's all just kids just want to come out and ride and have fun.
Okay. So you're kind of teaching them the sport, how to get around the track, that type.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Excellent. Okay. All right.
What other questions you have, Melissa?
I am caught up now.
Good. What we're going to do is we're going to jump to our friends at Magic BMX, and then we're going to come back. We're going to listen to our Jeremy Ames Voice Mail, which will be Mr. Howard's first time, which we'll have to preface this. You dodged the bullet this evening, Mr. Cato.
Man.
When I forward the voicemail, I listen to like a little snippet, just a tiny bit, because we try to make sure that like we don't, so we all get the same reaction.
Right.
Jeremy, much like everybody in the studio, is like, man, that's Howard Cato. I can't. I won't. So maybe in the future, now that you're family here at the All Things BMX Show, possibly. But I know it's not you. So we're gonna listen to our friends from Magic, and when we come back.
Okay.
We'll hit
Tell Jeremy much respect, man. Much respect.
Thank you.
He doesn't deserve that.
He doesn't.
He doesn't know Jeremy yet.
When you get to meet Jeremy. Yes. All right. So we're gonna listen. We're gonna go visit our friends at Magic, who help make the things happen here, and then when we come back, we'll go to our Jeremy Ames voicemail segment. Thank you guys for joining us.
Hey, Metro Detroit, it's time to experience the coolest store you've never been to. Magic Motorsports in Waterford. Discover over 40,000 square feet of savings. From motorcycle parts, accessories, and service to hoodies, coats, jackets, and sunglasses from Oakley and Spy, and so much more. Looking for that perfect gift? You'll find it here. Get big discounts on everything every day. We also carry the area's largest selection of BMX bikes and accessories. And we change motorcycle tires while you wait. Magic Motorsports on Dixie Highway just west of Telegraph in Waterford.
All right, we are back. This is your happy Jeremy Ames young man. You know, we got so many other pictures of him, but I just feel like this.
No, this one goes with the voicemail.
It is.
For sure.
As I say, yeah, we need to kind of explain a little bit.
Well,
Because
here's what he is.
I'm assuming we're going to have a lot of people that are friends with Howard that aren't
Right.
sure who
Like,
Jeremy is.
Who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Jeremy's a guy got a unique story. There's an upcoming show that's really going to have a lot of focus on Jeremy and some other people here. But Jeremy's a guy, like I was saying before, you know, he's always just left very interesting voicemails.
When he just logged into your chat.
Oh, Jeremy just logged in. Could not be more perfect timing.
Good timing, Jeremy.
So if you don't answer your phone from Jeremy, you can expect anything from him talking to his friend Franklin, who is a pigeon up in Traverse City, literally to I couldn't, you know, there's been so many.
He's just our local prankster.
He is.
He's a good.
He was Crank Yankers long before they had a show.
That's a way to put it.
That's
a good way to put
yeah,
it.
that's
So
right.
yeah, so
So
here is another segment by Jeremy, and we're gonna, you know, we'll mute so we can listen, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Hey, man. Jason Juarez here. What's good with you? Man, I just wanted to get in and talk to you before the show tonight and see what was going on. And my elbow's been killing me and almost took me out. It's been hurting me since the Grand. Otherwise, I would have won every money open that I've even entered. You know that. You know, and I'll never clip in. And I'll never go aluminum, I'll tell you that much. But if you know anybody with some HT pedals or even a carbon fiber frame, have them hit me up on the down low, bro. You know, I don't even know if I'm in a race anymore. My CPU's got 30 million RAM. I got a motherboard that would tickle your grandma's chijones. And I've got unlimited input memory. You know what that means? That means me sitting in a dark room, naked, playing Doom, eating yogurt. Get off. Hey, I'm just curious. Have you ever pooped your pants and just didn't tell anyone about it? You know, these are questions that I need to know, Justin. I do have to get going here soon. I have to make this short. I got to get on Plenty of Fish and update my info. But, hey, something to think about on the show tonight. A rubber chain, man. We'll take it down to the Christmas Classic. You know, it'll snap on me in my moto, and I'll skip the semis. You know, it's just something different. But, yeah, again, if you know anyone with a nice aluminum or carbon frame, have them hit me up and some new HT pedals. But I'll never clip in, ever. In fact, anyone that clips in is a scumbag, and because I'm going flats, you're even scummier. Get me? see me, bye.
Get me, see me,
Ah,
bye.
and another banger brought to you by
Get me,
Jeremy.
see me, bye.
Get me. And here's the funny thing: Jeremy's the one that buys frames, like it's going out of style.
Well,
That's the funny
Oh,
part.
This
is
is
he
the
always on
longest
something
he's
different?
gone without buying a new bike in a while.
And it's been what, 3 weeks?
I was gonna say days, but
Yeah, like maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
He goes through the frames, eh?
Another
know,
one.
he
Jeremy
trades them off, and
He trades them off. He
Yeah.
never loses money. That's the thing.
he's not a hoarder. He just hasn't found the bike yet.
No. Another great job, Jeremy. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We are back with our guest, Mr. Howard Cato. Thank you again for joining us on All Things BMX, the only weekly BMX live show. So we appreciate you guys jumping in. And it is the time to transition into our news, rumors, and gossip. And we really appreciate you hanging out here and providing your insight, your commentary on all things news here. And we like to reach out and touch things news, local, nationally, regionally, whatever we get sent to our inbox that Mr. Chris mentioned earlier, we like to bring on the show. So if you, Howard, have something coming up in the future, please email us and we'll get it on the show. Or anyone listening or in the chat, please send it to us and we'll get it on here. So we have to thank everybody that sent their news in for us. And we have this fancy graphic with new music.
My microphone is falling off.
Wow.
We may have lost a microphone in the back. All right.
I got it. We're good.
All right, we are
It's all
good.
good.
It happened.
Actually, you know what? I thought our cat striked again. Did you? The other week, Howard, who was on? Was it Brad from Toledo?
I think so.
I don't know, man. Our cat. We've got a kitten here, and that thing. I'm not sure what it knocked over, but it sounded like an earthquake here. So. Our first thing we'd like to announce is we had a contest, Howard, that we were running for the month of May, and it was the Post Tag Share and Win. And we do this every month, so you're more than welcome to get in on this, and hopefully we see a lot of entries for the June contest from your friends and your team members. So what we did was we just asked, hey, post to our All Things BMX page, hashtag Rippin' in the Mitten, and tag it up there for us. We said, look, we want to see your coolest pictures of what you've been doing during the COVID. And our winner is Hunter. Now, interesting story. He is from Australia, and his mom is from Michigan. And I got the pleasure of meeting them about a year ago out at Richfield Park, or no, 2 years ago, I think. Is that when the South Carolina
it was
Worlds
2 years
was?
ago.
Yeah. So we got to meet him 2 years ago, and we stayed in contact. It's really cool. His dad messages me and tells us he watches the replays and things like that. But this is him, ripping at his. I believe so. Their state races in Australia are as big as our nationals here. They're massive. So this is, I believe this was one of his state races. They call them circuses.
Really?
Didn't he title this like Chasing the COVID Storm or something like that?
Chasing the storm. Yeah,
Chasing the Corona Storm or
so
something.
he won our gift pack, and what we do is here at All Things BMX, whatever we can get donated, we package it up, put it in a little package, and that's what we make our.
It's got to travel a long way now.
It does. We put it together, and that's our gift prize for the month. So he's going to get himself a $25 gift card from Mighty Mo's, which. Okay, look, here's the reality.
Cashola.
It's going to be cash, but I'm going to hit his dad up and be like, give me your PayPal, because I'm not going to throw $25 American dollars in an envelope and send it to you when it's going to Australia. But yeah, and we also have some grips from our friends at Truth. We got a cool hat from our friends at Michigan Wild. They're a BMX race team like yourself, Howard, that you have. And we have, we got a T-shirt from Kebco.
The vouchers.
And then we also have from our friend Billy, which if anyone's interested in their own fancy custom number plates at a very reasonable price, you can hit up Gatenine Design. Billy, he's donated 2 vouchers for your own custom plates, Hunter, so you can have your inserts done by him or even have a number plate made, all catered to your liking. So congratulations, Hunter.
Awesome.
Yeah, and make sure you guys check out all of the sponsors that were in on that, and we really, really appreciate it. Now,
Especially
something
from the down under.
Yeah, he's bringing it from the down under. Now, something that Howard can speak to is our friend Mighty Mo and his BMX crews. So, as we talked earlier, you're going to be now the main man there, right, Howard?
Yes, I am.
All right, and we have. He has many nice things to say about you, as everybody does. So you are now going to be the honorary member or honorary speaker. Thank you for the cruise. There was a little change, and Mo wanted to make sure that we made sure everybody knew about this. So because he had to replace the guest of honor, the extended time for final payment is June 12th. So if anyone has, hey, if you guys have been waiting and now suddenly you're like, Craig Reynolds wasn't enough, but now Howard Cato's the main man, you still can get your bookings in. Make sure you guys get over to their Facebook page, hit their, or you can call Anita. Their information is in our show notes. It's going to be taken off Labor Day weekend, and you're going to be on it, right?
Yes, I am. Man, hey, don't miss out on this one, man. It's going to be a great cruise. I'm excited. I might even learn to swim on there. You never know. Sure. I might go past 4 feet, man. I might try to go into 5.5 to 6.
Well, then you can teach Justin next year.
Wait, hold on. Wait, Justin, you can't swim either?
I mean, he could swim. He just would choose not
to. Look,
he could swim if a shark was chasing him.
If a shark was chasing me, if I was really hungry. But I grew up camping, and then when you were a tube and I got flipped and my mom had to resuscitate me, and since then I don't go anywhere I can't see the shoreline.
Right.
So Mo and Melissa and everybody here have been like, no, it's different, it's a cruise. I'm like, first of all, there better be a ton of booze on this cruise, because as soon as that boat gets where I can't see the shore, it's got to be blackout. We're talking zeroed out, whatever the things is. Melissa's telling me about these things they can put on.
The Dramamine.
Yeah, Dramamine.
I got Ativan too, you be fine.
Whatever. But little
Xanax. We'll come up with something.
Whatever, man.
We'll be all right. I'm going to be all right.
Yeah.
I told him you can't even tell that it's moving unless you look out the window.
Said that.
I'm not even worried about that part. I'm more worried about my friends telling me, come on, man, let's go swimming. My family, because some of my family members are coming also.
Nice.
And they always trying to get me in the water, and it's
you can't swim
man.
in the ocean, right?
No, you're out in the middle of the
boat,
ocean.
no.
But there's lots of pools.
They have a swimming pool in the boat.
Yeah, they got the pools inside there and everything. But I'm going to work my way up a little further. I'm not promising anything. I'm not saying I'm going to go under, but I might do a little bit extra than I usually do.
JT don't even wear shorts.
Nope, I don't. My daughter, when she was
hell
no, hell no, I don't wear shorts, man. No, hell no. My daughter, she's 5.
Well, she has a sweet tattoo on his calf you can't ever see.
You gonna come out here if something happens to me? You get past Dad's knees, you're on your own.
You're on your own, man. Yeah.
My dad taught me how to ride a bike by pushing me down a hill. You know what? If you're in danger, you're gonna learn how to get out of it. If you get out of my arms, reach past knees.
Full of it.
That's right.
She's like, you ain't something, no, and that thing, they're huge. I understand, and you know what?
There was a floating city.
No, there was a boat they said couldn't sink, and it did sink.
It wasn't made right.
That was in the early 1900s.
You know what?
Time ago, bud.
I don't. Anyway, we're gonna plan on going next year. I really wish we could join you this year. Unfortunately,
Mo did put in the chat that he said it's going to be such an honor having you as my inaugural cruise guest. You're a class act all the way around.
Thank you, Mo.
For sure.
Mo, you know, man, I've been knowing. I met Mo when I was in Rock. Well, I met Mo at the Grands a few years back, but we really got close at Rockford. You know, got a chance to stay at his house and hang out with him, and just ever since then, you know, we were just always been friends, man, communicating and stuff. But I used to always watch Mo. He used to always go to the worlds. He was always traveling. I'm like, man, this guy's always on the go and everything. So now it's an honor, man, to be able to get on the cruise and go with him, man, and travel out and just have some fun, see my other BMX friends and stuff. So, like I said, it's gonna be something great, man. I mean, I think if you can, if you're able to do it, man, go catch up with Mo, man, catch up with Anita and them, and reach out, get some information on it. There's some good deals on there and everything, and just come have some fun.
It's
you know?
It definitely.
Riders ready, watch the waves.
Yes. What I've learned is it is a great deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is a great deal.
I don't know about that late night dodgeball T-Bone sponsoring though. That sounds a little.
I'm down on that.
That sounds like it would be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm like, can I sit on the sidelines and just watch and laugh?
Now, so cool announcement. We are going to have check-ins with you guys on the cruise. So,
okay.
Oh, cool.
Mo and I were talking. We're gonna. Because I'm like, if you got internet, dude, we can make it happen. So much like how you know Mo was on, he joined like you did, and so we're gonna do one of the nights. We'll have a check-in, so all you guys can join us and hang out, and we're gonna see all the fun we're missing because we didn't get to go. So
you guys understand that there typically isn't internet.
I guess there is. Mo said there is, so
there's usually an internet package.
Mo also
he might. Yeah, I was gonna say he might be purchasing it.
Yeah.
Mo also offered the fact that I could sleep on his couch if I went on the cruise, and I told him that I wouldn't have a place anymore to live if I did that, and he told me it's cool. You can just FaceTime.
Wait, what would you be doing? Oh, because I have to work. Oh, yeah. No.
Melissa has
might
to
as well
work.
Just stay down there.
So, I was like, it's cool, man. You can just FaceTime.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm like, I'm talking permanent residency.
Right.
So, I know it's going to be a really good time. And look, next year when you get Melissa and I and the rest of us on the boat here at the All Things BMX show, I'll bring the DJ gear and we'll have our own.
Oh man, that's gonna be great.
Well, yeah.
I think this one's gonna set it off real good, man. And it's gonna, the people that can come this time, it's really get them amped up to get ready for next year for 2021.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. For sure.
My fan club wants to know why I'm stuck in the back.
We need a bigger table for up in the front.
Where did she get a fan club?
Well,
hey,
can we be honest? Like, you really think our looks are carrying this show, Chris?
I don't think so. Not at all.
You got a guy with a beard. That's Paul. You got you and me. We aren't doing it, buddy. That quota ain't getting hit by us, okay?
It sure is.
Billy said no one puts baby in the corner.
God.
Billy's
Thank you, Billy.
Billy's our resident graphic designer. So when I needed your logos converted so we could have the transparent background, I messaged this guy all hours of the night. But if you don't,
hooked it up.
He does. And if you don't have a source for number plates, Gatenine number plates, go see him.
100%.
He does an awesome job.
Yeah, and he fast turnaround, and pretty much he. You can just throw whatever you want at him and be like, here, I drew this up with my left hand because I'm a terrible artist, but here's an idea. And I threw it to him, and he whipped up some really cool little cards we've got that we're going to have down at Toledo. And speaking of Toledo, there's your segue. Toledo BMX, who has a national this year, we're going to be headed down there this
Saturday?
This Saturday,
Yeah.
yep. And we got their first race of the season. So, are you guys racing out there, by the way, Howard?
No, not yet. No, we're practicing.
Okay.
No racing yet. We've been our first
social distancing
actually
practice?
We went down to Mike Redmond's track a couple weeks ago. That was one of our first practices that I had with my team since since the pandemic had happened. That was great, you know, being able to see all my riders and stuff and just have fun. But now the racing scene. Oh, you know what? Actually, they did start racing. I know one of the tracks, Lemoore, California. They started racing about a week ago, I think it was. But yeah, I haven't got on the scene of racing yet. I've just been kind of getting practicing and stuff right now.
All right. Well, we're going to be headed down to Toledo for their very first race. So as you see on your screen, Howard, they're going to be doing their thing. 5:30, 6:30 sign up. Make sure you guys are there. All of us in the All Things BMX Nation, make sure you're out there. Come down. Now, we do have a little conundrum here in the Midwest because, mainly in the mitten here, which was Michigan, because our governor finally lifted our social distancing order to 100, which pretty much has been like
100. Yeah, I heard a lot of people is doing 100 right now.
Yeah. We were the last. So you'll see here in the next couple pieces of news coming up, there's going to be a lot of tracks racing on Saturday. But we'll be down there, and one of the things we do here at All Things BMX, you know, we broadcast the races. So we've got a nice little portable setup because Chris never does anything half-ass. Like, he buys the latest and greatest, G9 jets that aren't even released yet.
Oh, come on.
So when
hey, why half step, man? Just go all the way, man. Make it right, man. So you don't have to double
He's
back.
like, it's a tax write-off. It's all good.
Yeah.
So
it's the All Things BMX private plane. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
ATV right across the back of the tail.
Yeah, it is. It's on the wing thing, the back, the tail. Yeah. So anyway, we got this sweet portable rig because Chris has got this thing. He didn't like another track doing a live feed, and he was like, "Man, I'm gonna one up him." And so we got this sweet setup now that he's part of our show here at All Things BMX. And we go to the tracks now. We set up a few cameras and we broadcast the races. And we kind of like to hit, local races. We're not trying to, do the national thing because they got a nice sweet setup. But we like to go and do it. And we were up in Traverse City and set it up and did our thing. And so we'll be down there.
Okay.
And we'll be doing that down there at Toledo at their race. And they're going to be, like we said, 5:30, 6:30 registration. They kind of race in the evening, so it's not as hot and muggy.
Right.
Which you guys have no idea what that means in the Bay Area when it comes to humidity.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Man, hey, I know what it is, man. I know what it is, and I'm not missing it. I'll tell you.
Well, you said you've been to Rockford, right? So
yeah, I've been to Rockford, man. Even Nashville, it was similar to that.
Oh, it's
super
super muggy in Nashville.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Nashville, man. They had those spiders that kept falling out the air on me, man.
No.
Oh
No,
I was down there.
Not allowed.
I was down there.
I was in practice, and this lady was like, "Excuse me, sir, but you have a big spider on your back." I'm like, well, get that thing off.
Yeah.
Don't tell me about it. Get it off.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't tell me. Get it.
Yeah.
I love that track, though, man. I love Nashville. That was a nice place. I was hoping that I was able to go back this year, but I think that one got postponed as well.
It did.
Yeah.
He's actually the TO down there. Rob is a Michigan transplant.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Rob's got a great program running down there, and I was down there 7 years ago racing when they had their, I think it was like their inaugural UCI thing or something like that, and the pros protested and walked off the track.
Oh, I was there that year. That year it rained.
Yeah, we had a tornado.
Yeah, man.
It was all
I had
humid.
my family come in from Mississippi, man, and they came out to watch my son race and a few other my riders and stuff, man. And we didn't finish up until late that night.
Yes.
They were passing out the awards that late, man. It was like, oh man.
I didn't have to worry about that.
Protesting and stuff, man. Yeah,
I straight got motoed at that one.
Okay.
You got moto? I didn't race that year. I was scared of that tabletop. That tabletop was huge. I didn't bring my bike anyway. That was gonna be our first year going to the Worlds for New Zealand.
Yep.
So my son Brandon, he went down to get the qualifier for that for us to go there. Yeah.
What'd you have for us, Melissa?
Oh, I was going to just go back to the cruise real quick. Just a funny thing. Anita chimed in our chat, and she said to tell Howard that he's in luck. She says, not only am I a travel agent, but I've also been a lifeguard.
She's got you covered.
Oh, so she's
So you're
telling me,
covered.
let me know that I might be okay to go swimming. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll be good.
Tell her to make sure she brings some of those little blow up things I can put around my arms.
And a noodle.
Floaties.
And a noodle.
Little
Yeah.
floaties.
Yeah, you want the floaties and a noodle.
Oh, that's what they call those. Oh, water wings.
Water
wings.
wings.
Water wings and a
That's it.
noodle.
Yeah.
And JT,
I'll go up over there.
Damon said he'll DJ with you.
If Damon going to go on this cruise next year, then we're going to have
Damon's
like...
going on the cruise. He's already been
Is he?
talking to you about it.
We
you guys
will
are all set
have...
up.
So, Mo, and I know, Howard, you're going to be back. We will have the ultimate DJ setup for that one. Like, we're going to bring the Thunderdome for that one. It's going to be out of sight.
Do you know how much luggage costs?
No, Mo's going to have to pay for that stuff.
Oh, okay.
First of all,
I was like,
the amount
I don't
of gray
think we're
hair
shipping that shit.
that Mo just caused me with updating this commercial that we're going to play again. He can pay for Mo. Well, the good thing is Damon and I's DJ gear literally is now a laptop and like a mixer that can fit in a backpack. So
Oh,
They
that's
probably
true. I'll
have that
give you
stuff
that.
on the boat. You
Yeah,
just have
they
to talk
will.
nice
They'll have
to
their
them and
own
let them
DJ.
use
wait a
their
minute.
stuff.
Neiman said I had shorts on down at Fort Wayne.
You did. You had your basketball shorts on.
Did I?
Yeah.
He's right because they were all asking about my. I got a profile I got a profile drivetrain tattoo on my leg.
That nobody sees because.
Oh, okay. Oh, because you don't wear
Doesn't
you
wear
don't
shorts.
shorts.
But when he was melting in Fort Wayne the other weekend, that was the only thing you had to throw on.
93 degrees and 100%
like that.
humidity.
Oh man.
Now, so our next track here that's going to be opening up this Saturday is our friends at Rock City.
Rock City Outdoor.
Outdoor,
not indoor, outdoor. Mm-hmm. So they're going to be... Shoot, I can't see.
We're going to be doing this
10:30 to
Saturday
12.
morning. Yeah, Melissa, go ahead. Let them know.
They're registering 10:30 to 12, and I think their plan is to be racing by 12:30. $10 a bike, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you guys can hit Rock City in the morning and then head on over to either Lansing, which will be the next one.
Man, I'm jealous.
I know.
Or
This
Toledo.
is just happening. This is
Right.
breaking news.
This is kind of boom. Today.
Monday,
Right now.
the governor released us.
Yeah, this happened. Yeah, and then the other track that's going to be racing is Lansing, which is our capital here, and they're going to be racing. Registration is going to be 4 to 5:30. So as Chris said, those of you that are around or want to come up, this is a great time to come out and see what the Michigan tracks have to offer you, because you could hit up the Grand Rapids track, which is over on the west side of the state, kind of travel over here to the middle part of the state, visit our friends at the Capital City BMX, Capital City Family BMX.
And they have all been diligently working
Yes.
on their tracks. They are all
New gates.
dialed in and ready to go.
They're all set.
New
ready to
Gate,
rock.
and
Wow.
Toledo too.
Toledo, Grand Rap, Charlie and crew over there
Rock City.
at Rock City.
Yep.
They've got redid the first jump. Lansing's done a ton of work over there. We could go on and on. But their registration link is right here for their race. So you guys can hit them up on the Square site. Get pre-registered for the Capital City Family BMX race.
And be respectful of the new restrictions and spacing and all the stuff that they are as a track are being asked to ask you to do.
Yeah, we need everybody to do that, because if we don't do that, what's going to happen?
shut
They're going to
down.
shut you down.
Yeah, follow the rules, man. Follow the rules.
Follow the rules for
Now-
now, and we'll get it back to.
Man,
back
I wish
to
we
it.
had some rules. If I'd follow them right now, the race right now,
You'd take
man,
any
I'll tell you
rule right
shit.
now, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Now the next little piece of news that we have here and is our we're gonna stay with our friends at Capital City Family BMX, and they have
He's making it up, Chris. Don't look for it.
Yeah, I'm literally just you know what?
He's winging it.
We typically do these
for it,
show
Justin.
notes, Howard,
just to
because Mo's commercial took most of my brain power today.
Okay.
Poor
I
Mo.
failed Chris in getting all this updated. So, I'm winging it, buddy. So
Go for it, bud.
here's the thing: Capital City Family BMX. They got another awesome raffle. They've had some bangers so far this off season.
Yeah, they
And
got
this
some
is
good
this
support
is yet
out there.
another one that is just awesome.
Okay.
So what they're going to do, they're going to raffle off a Mongoose Title Junior. You get their Capital City Family BMX T-shirt, which we have, and they're very comfy. They're nice.
Great.
They're like a Snuggie, but not as big
Oh,
I don't know that I would go that far.
No, I mean they're. If anyone remembers a
What the heck's
Snuggie,
Oh, is that the blanket?
it's a
that you
backwards robe. But the Snuggie it's so nice.
zip up in there.
Yeah,
Isn't it kind of like
that's
just
a joke that only about 5 people got.
I know. I feel like
Man, I suck.
Justin is tired.
I wonder.
I had Snuggies. Anyway, go Google them, okay? They have a sweet infomercial.
Google it right
Anyway,
now.
you can go to their Facebook page and you can buy or you can get in on their raffles, $5 each. They're going to give the bike away. They're also going to give away.
Is that a number plate?
Yeah, you're going to get one of their sweet number plates. Which actually, let me turn the camera
It's right
around.
here.
Melissa has it. Hold on, right there. So you're going to get a number plate. You're going to get the bike, and you're also going to get really nice little package that they put together for you. So again, thank you guys from Capital Area, Capital City, Family BMX.
Holy cow! It does exist.
What does?
The Snuggie.
Told you it does.
They call it the official blanket with sleeves.
It's the backwards rope. So we'll be doing
Sorry.
July 4th. We'll be going live.
They do exist.
Or they'll be going live. We use our page, and we'll be going live picking that winner. So make sure you guys tune in. Get your raffle tickets, man. They're only $5 each.
$5. You're helping out a local track.
Yes, you
helping
are.
them with improvements on their track. So head on over there, get your ticket. You can buy them right online.
So
go check 'em
here's
out.
Chris. Here is your Race Inc. news. Now Chris has his own BMX team. They are currently sponsored by the Race Inc. Family. Race Incorporated. So
One of my first bikes that I started racing BMX on back in the 80s.
very nice.
Oh, nice. So we got a little bit of news came out yesterday, I believe. So the legacy of Race Inc. lives on with a new owner. So there's a new company. It's called the American BMX Company, ABC for short, is excited to announce the acquisition of Race Inc. quality BMX products from Chris Hancock out of Northern Indiana. So let's see. This has been bought by, I gotta find it here. The owner of ABC is based in Montreal, and his name is Marc Cotier. And if I screw that up, I apologize. The last name. He's a businessman and an entrepreneur with a background in robotic engineering, film, and television. And he has got a setup with this thing where he is going to redesign the frame. He's going to hook up with box components. They are going to...
Well, he's hooking up with Mike, that was the company's brand manager at Box when Toby and him launched it in 2012.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
when they redesign this frame, they're going to go with the box components, oversize everything. So this frame is going to be designed to work with all the box components. So
that's cool.
Toby and those guys over at Box are really excited about this new adventure. So they're supposed to be debuting this new frame at the Grands this year. So they're just getting started on this whole thing.
You gonna be there, Chris?
At the Grands?
Yeah, you gonna get in the RV with us here from?
No, he's gonna run the other way.
Oh, you probably take your helicopter. We can take your
No,
jet.
that's enough for the jet for
Yeah,
sure.
that's definitely.
He's got too much equipment for the
I
helicopter.
don't know if they have an airport there. I don't know.
They
there
do.
it is.
No, I
It's
do
probably an
not,
open field,
again,
right?
I do not have a plane. I do not have a helicopter. I do not
Or
have
you
giraffes.
deny.
Him and Bob Seger hang out all the time.
Yeah.
Over
So they're
in the
also
DTE complex.
the new owner plans on working with USA BMX to help grow BMX participation in North America.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's rumored, unconfirmed, that there will be a Chris Beer signature frame. Again, it is
I
rumored
don't think
that
so.
rumor has completely started right here.
Just now.
Just
No, rumor gets started.
I think if we apply
CB.
enough pressure, it could be the Patterson beer frame.
Oh man.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think it should be Beer Patterson.
I
Beer
don't see
yeah.
that happening.
BP?
guys.
BP?
BP.
I like it.
I don't think
Let
it's
us
a
know.
gas station.
In the chat, let us know what that frame. If Chris gets a signature frame, dude, you're the co-host
man.
of All Things BMX, the only
Right.
weekly live show. Like they need to make one for you.
Jeremy
Go
says
for it,
that.
Chris. Go for it.
Oh, hey, if they want to do that, that would be great. But I just don't see
Man.
that happening.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the cat just attacked you, Paul.
There it is.
Ames says that
Oh boy.
CB definitely's got some emus and a movie theater in his house.
For sure.
Emus. Great.
Right, he has a train, like a railroad around his property too.
Gosh, yeah.
Mr. Cato,
Yes.
Yes.
old school, Scott Sloan,
Old school.
says, "Hey, what's up?" And he wants to know
What's
if you're
up,
gonna
Scott?
wants to know if you're gonna be at Bounce Back or any of at the Carolina Nationals this year.
Tell him I'm not gonna make the bounce back. And I just seen my boy. I saw last time I seen him was at the Houston National. Tell him he probably won't see me until maybe the Grands, because unless he's coming to Vegas. Vegas is gonna be my first national. For the team.
When's
okay.
that one?
It's in July.
You're busy.
So
Yeah, I'm busy.
you know,
so.
if we get any openings in between that, I don't know. Just got to figure it out.
July
See
in
how things
Vegas?
go.
No thanks.
I bet that's warm.
That sounds
Yeah, that's-
a lot.
Indoors.
Oh well.
Oh.
All right. Because most of
Yeah.
life is indoors in Vegas, anyways.
Yeah,
Especially in
indoors.
July.
So,
Okay.
I
That's
guess
a
they're
little
gonna make
better.
it happen, man. You know, fingers crossed.
Right.
Sure.
I went there once for competition to Congress.
Oh, did you go to one down there? Over there?
Yeah, when it was NBL.
Okay.
Oh, NBL.
Yeah,
Which
remember-
one? That was
Long time ago.
He doesn't
long
remember.
time ago. That was the outdoor ones.
Yeah.
Huh?
You talking
Oh,
about
he's
the
talking
outdoor?
about the race.
No, it was the
he's-
competition to Congress they had out there in Vegas.
Oh,
So,
okay.
The
it's a
one
big
and only
summit.
time.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
Yes.
there were so many people that didn't show up to vote. If you know
Super
why.
hot. Yeah.
There was
Oh,
a
yeah.
group that came with us from Michigan that we lost the second day they were there.
Oh, for real?
You
No,
got
for
lost
real.
in Vegas.
It was the Midland crew. Like we saw them and then never, like the second day,
Never saw them again.
never saw them again.
Hey, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas,
Stays in
man.
Vegas.
I only hope they finally 15 years later got home.
I don't know.
It
Vegas
was
is quite the
that.
place.
No, they don't take that back there anymore. So we got a few happy birthdays we want to say tomorrow to our friend Ron McDonald, aka
McDonald,
the
okay.
man. He does have a Ronald McDonald custom made, I believe it was by Potter uniform.
Yes, it
that he
was.
wears when he races because he's embraced the name. And then our friend Trevor Thompson and Nick Spasti. Happy birthday, gentlemen, and we're very proud that you guys are followers of the show.
And I got one more happy birthday. We didn't get on there. My daughter is turning 18 on Sunday, so happy birthday,
my
Amanda.
goodness.
I hope you have a great day on Sunday.
Wow, 18.
Wow, Chris.
18.
The baby,
She
huh?
doesn't follow the show. That's why I didn't find out.
Oh. No. She does. I think she follows the show. I'm sure she's not. I know she's not home right now, so she's not watching it. I know that.
She in your jet?
With the butler.
All right, we got two more commercials, and we're gonna come right back, and we're gonna wrap up with our great guest this evening, Howard. And again, we can't tell you guys how much we appreciate it.
All right.
And when we come back after our commercials, we'll have Melissa let us know what questions we have hanging out in the chat room. We will be right back. Hey, now that I've got your attention, I want you to look at some cool stuff that Kebco BMX has to offer for you. Just check these out. Some rad t-shirts. If that's not your game, we've got plenty of hoodies to offer you. Make sure to get those hoodies. Want to keep your ears warm in these cold months? We've got hats, we've got beanies. Make sure you slide over and check us out at KebcoBMX.com and buy two, because you're going to like them that much.
Be part of the ultimate BMX pit party away from the track. All the fun of hanging with your friends, just like at the races, but without all the stress of competition. Nothing like this has ever been done anywhere in the world for BMXers until now. Enjoy the beautiful Royal Caribbean Navigator of the Seas cruise ship. Then join us as we celebrate and honor BMX humanitarian and rider Howard Cato. Hit up the T-Bone sponsored dodgeball tournament and so much more. Take in the sights while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Make this Labor Day weekend memorable as we kick off the inaugural sailing of the Mighty Mo's BMX cruise. The Caribbean better be ready. Riders ready? Watch the waves.
Heavy Pedals BMX Zine. Voted #1 BMX zine in the world by Michigan BMX Podcast Show viewers and listeners. Get your copy now. Heavy Pedals is sold locally at Solon Bicycles, Ray's MTB, Reggie's Bike Shop, and globally at heavypedals.com. Make sure you get over to our Facebook page, give us a like and a share, and while you're at it, head on over to our Instagram page at Heavy Pedals BMX.
Come on back.
All right, we are back, and I got to tell you, we are hanging out with Mr. Howard Cato. Thank you again for joining us on All Things BMX this evening. Afternoon for you.
Yeah, evening.
Yeah,
That's good.
going into
Yeah.
the evening. So we are going to move into our little last bit of news here before we go to trivia. Now, before we go to trivia, it's not going to be your typical trivia, All Things BMX Nation, just so you know.
No, because, no.
Right.
No.
Something different.
It's going to be different. All right.
All right.
Chris, you want to tell them where they can get their heavy
All right.
pedals?
So, yeah, Heavy Pedals. So, it's one of the sponsors of our show, Heavy Pedals BMX Zine. If you want to check this new magazine out that our friend Chuck Nagy's putting out, go to heavypedals.com. Check out he's got issue number 3 coming out here, I believe, in the next week or so.
I had to send our ad off today, or he was going to stab me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that
So-
was were his words, man. He said, if you don't get me your ad for All Things BMX today, because he's going to print tonight.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He literally was going to drive up and stab us.
So if you want to support these guys in what they're doing with the magazine, our friend Chuck, head over to his website again, heavypedalswithaz.com. They got some t-shirts for sale on there. Several different styles of the t-shirt starting at $20, and this all helps support the printing and putting together the magazine, which Justin's holding up there. It's all the first printing is all color. I believe after the first printing it goes to black and white, but so you want to get the first printing of the magazines. You get all color, all things, and it's not just racing. There's street riding.
You're an
trick
amazing
riding.
Vanna.
I am. I try. Here it is. It's all.
Is that
It's
the
all
page
wheels.
with your picture on it?
He. Well,
100%.
there's like one or two. I don't know. There's like a page in here that.
Isn't there a page with Melissa on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, a tiny little like.
Well, that was from the
piece
first one.
Yeah.
But
I usually flip through it.
no, right there. See, there. This guy in the white helmet.
right there.
Yeah. But the one that's more
JT.
impressive is the one I actually aired out of a quarter pipe for took me like 30 attempts. And I'm going to tell you, not only is Chuck great at making magazines, he is a great photographer because he managed to literally make it look like when we were down riding at Ray's that I was way more higher out of that quarter pipe than I really was. So shout out to Chuck. Chuck, we love you, buddy. We can't wait for issue 3. And that the All Things BMX ad is going to be dynamite. Can't wait to see it. So if you haven't got even issue 2 or 1, just go order it. It's totally worth it. And for those of you out there in the Bay Area that are joining us, go over to his website and order 1, 2, or 3 of them. They're worth it. They're really, tons of color. It's not just local stuff. This issue 2 had a whole big spread on the 22-inch BMX Revolution. So go check it out, all right?
All right. And now we are ready for,
Is it trivia time?
I believe it is time for trivia with Melissa.
We have some awesome stuff to give away this evening. All right. Melissa, before we turn the fun trivia music on, what do we have to give away this evening?
Oh, I don't get to have my whole intro?
Here.
You have to build up.
There we go.
Okay, so first off,
Yes.
the chatters in the chat are already telling me and reconfirming how predictable apparently I have been for the last 22 episodes.
Oh, little do they know.
So,
we're gonna change it up.
Billy even went ahead to tell me he already wrote down all the answers because they just go through and write down whatever number anybody says.
Right?
Okay.
Hit them with what you were talking about in the pre-show.
What was I talking about?
That one question. You're like, is this okay?
Yeah, well, I might use that question at a later time,
Oh,
so I
no,
don't
that's
want
not
to.
good enough.
Nope.
I got to change this.
Billy says 13 is his guess right now. So, anyways, all right, prizes tonight, guys. We have hot off the press. We just ran into Mr. Bill Heath when we were in Traverse City this past weekend, and he has donated some fitted Michigan Wild BMX hats here. So I have one of those to give away.
Thank you, Michigan Wild.
Yes, there are nice hats too. I'm surprised nobody here's stolen any yet. But even bigger than that, or in addition to that, last week, Mr. Brad Moore, the track operator from Toledo Speedway, has donated to a winner a 1-year USA BMX membership to be paid in full.
Whoa.
By them. Yeah, so the membership, you can wait if yours isn't set to expire just yet as the winner. You're going to get in touch with Brad, and he's going to work out the details with you. You're going to be able to credit this membership to any track you want. So the points don't have to be credited to Toledo.
Even better.
He's willing to give those up to whoever wins. So it's kind of a pretty big prize.
If you didn't catch his show, make sure you guys go back on our
back and
YouTube.
check that out.
Really good interview with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and no Brandon and no Billy, you're not correct.
Get out of here with you two.
I'm going to reset my chat.
They're throwing
here.
guesses out already.
They
Howard,
are.
in the chat.
They are.
Yeah, so
I
clear them out.
would like the date, number, of our very first Michigan BMX podcast show.
Ouch.
The specific date of our first ever
And,
BMX podcast show.
and nobody associated with the show can put in on that.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so get out of there, Charlie. Get out of there, Jay. It's silence in that chat right now. That's what's awesome.
Yep.
Wow.
I know.
YouTube.
Everybody's going
Well,
to YouTube.
that's fine.
Here's the thing, though.
no.
I didn't get to. I never got to update him all the time. When we first started.
When we first started, the first few might not.
Billy
be
said he
on.
lost that piece of paper.
Yeah, because I didn't. It was not. They weren't always updated.
No.
So while we're getting our
go ahead,
guesses,
keep
Mr.
chatting.
Howard, we'd like to say thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you guys for having me.
And
For
we
sure.
really
Anytime.
would, if you'd like, we'd love to have you come back in the future.
Man, I'm here, man. I'm a phone call away, Justin. Just hit me up, man.
Now,
Okay, awesome. We're going to take you up on that.
it's going to be
Yeah.
my first Grands this year. We're gonna take an RV out there. We're gonna rock and roll all the way out there, road trip. But when we're there, what we're gonna try to do is, everybody that's been a guest on the show, track them down. If Harry and I end up in practice together, I'll try to, be within like a 30-foot behind him type thing and yell and scream at him. And if you're in my practice, same thing. But
Right.
we're gonna try to get everybody that's been on the show to kind of do, kind of like a little quick interview while we're out there at Grands. I am totally
Say hi.
looking forward to, Grands. I haven't been to, an ABA USA BMX Grands just because of the work I used to be in, so I never got to do
Right.
it. So totally
We're gonna
looking forward
enjoy it. We're gonna enjoy it.
So we look forward to seeing you there, but hopefully we get to see you sooner than
Right.
later. And if there's anything that you guys do, at 510 Bay Area BMXers, please let us know so we can make sure we share it with all our guests and our friends.
Yes.
It doesn't seem to be that.
Nope.
They're not nailing this one this evening.
Nope.
You know, and here's the funny
Room
thing.
for a loop.
There has been so many shows that the plaque with the first show.
Oh, you mean the plaque that's missing right now that they can't
that's
see?
right behind us.
It's not at the moment, though.
Did you just take that down?
I did.
And Scott, you are right, man. I will. Good luck with me chasing down Harry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
I got nothing on that. But yeah, so we normally have this plaque. So for our very first show, Melissa and her daughter got Chris and I. And when we started the show, which feel free to go back and check out.
Yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing.
We've come a long way.
The first show
Long
was
way.
ran on a webcam on my computer. My onboard webcam, an external cam for Chris, and it was we barely like the RAM on my computer could barely run the commercials. It was great. We had no clue what we were doing, and then Paul, our sound guy, was like, "What in the hell? It sounds like trash." So he started coming down, and our friend Jay, who's typically with us, he's like, "Look, man, you got too much going on. We're gonna help you." And then Charlie, he's like, "Just let me help you out." And then Melissa jumped in with all the things social media.
I was just sitting on the stairs.
She used to
listening.
sit
over
here.
And I'd be listening
Kind of
on
audit.
Facebook to make sure everything was coming through. And before Paul was the sound guy, I was kind of the sound girl.
Yep.
Teamwork, man. Teamwork.
Oh, it's
It
a
sounds
total,
much better now.
Total
Yeah.
team. Total
Man,
team.
it's great.
Yeah. Do we have even anything close?
Yeah, Brittany just got it.
Brittany
I
nailed
had to
it.
kind of clue them, though.
You did?
I did. I told so Brittany and Brianna were both close.
Someone got it.
Yes, and yes, Brittany Jennings. It was Wednesday, January 15th was our very first
It was.
podcast show.
2020.
We're not
Yeah.
even 6 months old yet, buddy.
No, we're not.
We're just a little tiny baby.
So all of you out there who thought I was so predictable, guess who's gonna throw you for a loop now?
Yep. We're gonna step up our trivia game, right, Melissa?
Well, if we're gonna get prizes like this, I gotta make sure that it's. I mean, this is a big deal. Thank you for donating it. Thank you, Toledo Speedway. Thank you, Michigan Wild, and all of our sponsors. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for sure.
And as always, thank you to our guest this evening, Howard. Yeah, I told you I was going to do my best not to fanboy out on you, man.
Man, it's like I said, it's an honor to be here, man. I love talking, man. Love enjoying talking BMX and just, I want to, if I can, I give a shout out to my sponsors, man.
For sure.
This is your
Shout
time.
out to my
Go ahead.
my web man, Paul Hopper that keeps my website going well. Shout out to AAA Fire Protection, the Pattersons. Shout out to Kids in Motion, Troy Thompson. Shout out to Bill Ryan over at Supercross. Just shout out to Cookies, man. Just everyone that supports me, man. If I left out anyone, my followers, man. Big shout for them to keep me pushing hard, motivating me to get up in the morning and go do what I need to do and stuff, man. Friends, family, Hey, like I said, thank you guys.
We get you on again soon.
What's your website? So if folks want to go check it out.
Bay Area BMXers.org.
.org. Okay, so make sure when you're typing that in, it's .org, guys. Go check it out. See what Howard's got going on.
Oh yes, you can go on there,
merch.
man. Clothing, apparel, T-shirts. Ask Melissa, she know.
I do. I have already purchased some T-shirts.
Okay.
So we'll have them on. We'll have them for a future show, right, Melissa?
Yep, we sure will.
All right.
Cool.
We can have you on again soon, right, Howard?
Yes, you can.
Fantastic.
Yes, you
I
can.
think we're gonna try to get a show. It'll be the pillars of positivity. So like yourself and Chris Allen and the rest of the gang. Because Chris is AKA the Prime Minister of Positivity now. Because our friend Barney over at Fort Wayne nicked him that. So we're gonna have that all-star show coming up soon, so we can get you back on.
Let's do it.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I always look forward to seeing your social media posts, man, because they're always so positive. No matter what's going on, it's through this whole thing, our COVID and everything else. You've always kept it positive, and I look forward to reading those and seeing them. Chris, why don't you actually one last time, Mr. Cato? Is there anybody else you'd like to thank or give a shout out to? That
I want to thank Mo now, man.
There we go.
I got to thank my boy Mo. I got to thank my boy Lonnie Learley, man. They made some things happen for me, man, and they know what I'm talking about, man. Thanks Anita, man, for getting everything right for me. Hey, I'm just, like I said, I'm so excited to have so many great friends, man, all around the world, man, that, really believe in me, man, and love what I'm doing and stuff, because like I said, without them, man, I don't know where I'd be at, I love doing what I do. When Mo reached out to me, man, earlier in the year at the Grands, man, it was a great thing to hear from him, good thing to be able to see him and see some of my friends that I haven't saw in a long time. So, like I said, man, you guys check this cruise out, man. It's going to be a big thing. Let's do this. Hopefully I see many more people that surprise me in September, man. Just show up.
There you go.
Make it happen.
Maybe buy a ticket, but yeah.
All right.
Now, Chris, let them know where they can see the replay, listen to the replay.
Okay. So, again, thank you, Howard, for being on tonight. Again, we really appreciate you stopping in, talking with us. Can't wait to talk to you again when we have you on again. All Things BMX Show. Make sure you follow, like, Facebook. Also, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. That's our big thing right now. We're trying to push our YouTube channel. That's going to be the best place to go to watch the past shows we've already aired. If you want to catch up on something, if you missed an episode, head over to YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and like that. In the comments, make sure you like and share the show tonight. If you're friends with Howard, share the show. Tell your friends about it. So that's our video version of the show, our live version. It's also on Twitch and Twitter, so you can catch us there. And then if you want the podcast version of the show, head over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, all those places you can catch our audio version of the show. So if you're in the car, throw in the podcast version, check it out. Also, if you have any news, rumors, or gossip, anything going on, you want to let the show know, we can cover it in our news section of the show. All Things BMX Show at gmail.com. Send it over there.
All right. Now, as always, I don't want you guys to miss anything. Make sure you guys like us, follow us, give us that 5-star review on all our social media pages.
For sure.
Smash the subscribe button. Make sure you follow us on all social media. We're even on Twitch, which we had our guest follower tonight on Twitch. Shout out. Thank you guys.
Carl.
Yeah. Thank you. We're on Twitter and Periscope. Everything, all things BMX. Howard, one last time, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Pleasure being here.
Chris,
all right,
set us out.
All right. Again, thanks everybody for stopping by tonight. Hope you have a great week. God bless and good night.
Good night.